remember my first day of kindergarten. I didn't want to go, but they made me. My family, that is. They told me that I would make friends, learn things, and have fun. At 5 years old, all I knew was I was being sent away from my family for the first time in my life. So I sat at a little table in a big room, scared out of my mind, while my teacher, Mrs. Simpson, who was a tall and thin woman, wrinkled like a linen suit, explained what she called centers. She pointed around the classroom and said, "We have an art center, we have a homemaking center, here's the counting center, and over here we have the reading center." Well, when I saw that table covered with a hill of books, I knew my family had sent me to a good place and that all would be right with the world. Evidence uncovered by mythologist Joseph Campbell, as well as others, suggests that the need humans have to hear and tell stories is innate. It's hardwired and built in. So no matter where you travel in the world, people of every shape, size, culture, color, and history have been telling the same stories in the same pattern for millennia. Storytelling is important in presenting because it transforms your information from lists and bullet points into something juicy and magnetic. Instead of waiting for the next slide, the audience is on the edge of their seats because they can't wait to find out what happens next. So, how do you do that? Okay, shh. This is a spoiler alert. I'm about to share the secret of all good stories. This secret crosses literature, movies, plays, parables, and metaphors. If you don't want to see the man behind the curtain, this would be a good time to get some water or step out to check your messages. Wow, still here, huh? All right then, here we go. Great stories are really journey tales. A regular Joe or Josephine is going along in life, and suddenly something happens that changes life as she knows it. After that, Joe goes on a quest to try and get her life back. But what she discovers is that life will never be the same. Now, let's break down the magic. Great stories have 3 acts and 5 sections. The Ordinary World starts Act 1, and it is the introduction to the hero and her challenge. A story example is, Dorothy says, "This place is boring. I need some fun and excitement." A presentation example is, your topic is time management, and the ordinary world is, there are not enough hours in the day. The trigger event starts Act 2, and this changes everything and propels the hero to action. So in our story example, Dorothy looks around and says, "Ooh, this is not Kansas." In our presentation example, the trigger is you asking the audience, are they having to work longer and longer hours to get everything done? The reversal, also part of Act 2, is when the journey changes direction. So in our story example, Dorothy has been going on the yellow brick road. She's made it to Oz. She's met the wizard. And the wizard says to her, "Look here, little girl. Can you take out that witch?" So in our presentation example, you could say to the audience, you've tried to-do lists. You've tried email post-its. You've tried electronic alerts, and nothing has worked. You need to change your tactics. The dramatic moment, or the final part of Act 2, is when good defeats evil. So this is what we have been waiting for. This is the part in our story example where Dorothy watches the witch, and we hear, "Oh, what a world, what a world." In our presentation example, this is you introducing the audience to a new time management system. And the resolution is Act 3. That's the new place at the journey's end, where Dorothy in our story example says, "Oh, Annie M., there's no place like home." In our presentation example, this is when you explain how using the new system eliminates the need for all of those long work hours. According to the evidence, this is the formula that seems to come straight from our DNA. Some final thoughts about stories. Stories are how we make sense of the world. A good story can render a group of energetic, prepubescent teens into silent, captivated hangers-on. A good story can galvanize nations. A good story can calm our children into peaceful sleep. We are all good storytellers. It's already in our DNA. With a good story by your side, you won't have to worry about your presentation. You can be confident that all will be right with the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Becky Merritt and Christine Starmer.